My name is Nicole Domeray, mother to 5 and wife to 1. So what I want to start out with is understanding the concept of being able to share the value before the cost, because this is what has been a big game changer for a lot of people that have been using, hey Jennifer, hey Becky, hey Martin, that have been using Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels to gain customers and to even gain business reps. So I would say a year ago, we didn't have this concept yet. We had TikTok, and TikTok is awesome. I love TikTok, but I wasn't on board with TikTok for a really long time because I thought, with TikTok, you're having to move people over platforms. And then I found out a good way to actually do it by using Project Broadcast. And I was able to work it out. I always, if I see something and I see other people really being successful in something, I'm going to figure it out. It's just the way my brain works. And so for me, I got on TikTok and I started to convert people over through Project Broadcast. Now, just stay with me because this is important. And when I did that, I realized that I was having to help people jump through hoops in order to get them over to Facebook where I live. Most people that are building a network marketing business, they secure people on Facebook because of groups. You can't do groups anywhere else, right? You want to be able to secure people. So I had to come up, and I kept going back to the drawing board over and over and over again. And what I realized quickly was that I need to really posture up and treat this like a true business. This is a system. And if people are not willing to jump through hoops, then I probably won't have a lot of luck in helping them with product or even with business. So I decided to devise a plan to make people jump through hoops in order to see if I thought they were a good fit for me. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But when you actually show up with that type of posture and attitude, and you already have a vision cast for yourself that you will do this until you will figure out how to do it properly until, then that posture really serves you well. So I finally decided at this probably 2-month stage of working on TikTok that conversation was key. Yes, showing the value is super important before the cost, but that comes in the actual reel or the TikTok. So when you can show the value through moving someone away from their pain by introducing them to their pain, offering them a solution, and then having a very direct call to action, you're going to get more people that are going to be reaching out to you. Now, I'm not here to talk about that. You already understand that part. Hey there, Regina. Hey, Michelle. You already understand how to show the benefit of the benefit, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what happens when they see it. I've had a lot of people join my team here in the last few months that actually found me on Facebook Reels and on Instagram Reels, and they already understood the power of creating Reels themselves because they found me that way. When I told them, if you can do what I do, you're going to have the same success over time that I have. If you're coachable and directable and you show up consistently, they understood that concept because they found me that way. So keep that in mind when people are actually reaching out to you. You now have a system where you can get people in conversation. So me jumping through hoops with TikTok a year ago served me well because I learned how to get people into conversation, ask them the right questions that allowed me to know whether or not I wanted to work with them. And when they were able to jump through those hoops, I knew they were serious about learning more about the benefit of the product or the benefit of a financial solution. And because of that, that allowed me to convert a lot of people over from TikTok through Project Broadcast to Facebook where I lived. I made them come to me. Then when Facebook Reels came out in November, I remember Stacy Hall boxing me and she's like, hey, Facebook has Reels. You need to jump on it right now. I'm like, oh my God, no. I was right in the middle of really perfecting the TikTok conversion and working on Instagram Reels. And I thought, just one more? Are you kidding me? And then I stopped myself and I said, stop that smack talk to yourself, Nicole. This is a gift, because now you've gone through the fire of having to move people and qualify people to get them over to Facebook. Now you have them. Use the same concept over there. Still qualify them, but now you're going to be doing it on the same platform. Now you can do that on Instagram as well. So we've already talked about showing the value before the cost, which is you showing up properly inside of your reel. Again, we're not talking about that today. If you do have questions though, I will actually answer those below here in a second. So hold your questions, because I do want to answer questions if something I say strums up something that you want an answer to. Hold on. Whew, okay. So with Facebook, I started in November of 2021. And I thought, I want to just see what happens if I repurpose all of these TikToks that I've created over onto Facebook. I'm like, why not repurpose if you can? I had a lot of success over there. I had a lot of videos that went viral. So I thought, what would happen? I know it's a different audience. It really is. That's more of a consumer audience over on TikTok. Facebook is Hallmark. So I thought, what's going to happen? Am I going to fail? Maybe, but who cares? Because you can always make another reel. Please don't get in your head about that. Don't try to make it perfect. So I went over to TikTok. I took TickSave, and I took the watermark off by saving it to TickSave and uploading it to TickSave. And I started with my most popular videos from TikTok. And each day I would load one at a time, just one. And because it was the early season of Facebook Reels, I started getting a lot of people reaching out to me like, oh God, Nicole, what is this about? Listen, this is important, because this can happen to you at any second. If you're putting up Facebook Reels right now and it's a ghost town, it's crickets, don't worry about it. Because there's going to be moments where after you have that 95% that it doesn't fail, it's just sitting there waiting. Please understand that. If you have videos that you've put up that's not getting a lot of comments, it's not getting a lot of views, it's not getting a lot of likes, it's not a fail. It is a waiting mode. It is waiting to be seen, because it will. Now, what happened to me? I put up my very first Facebook Reel in the middle of November from TikTok. And that one, 2 days later, I woke up to over 300 messages. And I'm like, holy crikey, what am I going to do? Nicole already had created a system, talking about myself in third person, created a system over on TikTok that was already in, guess what? My keyboard shortcuts. This was before boards, guys. This was before boards. And so I already had something that was in place. The messages were the same. It wasn't centered around TikTok. The word TikTok wasn't in it. It gave the same type of clarity. I had directives. I led people from the very beginning. So what does that look like? Once you do the do and you show the value before the cost in that awesome reel, make sure that you have that call to action and you tell people what to do. Now, if you've seen any of our Reels challenges or even our Instagram Reels challenge that we just did, Keeping It Real, we were very clear on the call to action. Your call to action needs to be short, your call to action needs to be simple, and your call to action needs to be straightforward. The 3 S's, don't forget them. Short, simple, straightforward. The directive needs to be clear, like you're talking to a class of kindergartners. Why? Not because they're unintelligent, but because they're distracted. You need to understand that your audience on Reels has been trained to do this constantly, and they're distracted. They just get in the habit of doing it, even when they're making dinner, getting gas in the car, changing a poopy diaper, letting the dogs out, taking the dogs for a walk, being in a conversation with their spouse, yelling at their kids, cleaning. It doesn't matter. They're distracted. You're only getting 15% of their focus. That means that your CTA has to be very direct. Don't try to recreate the wheel. We're not talking about, so you guys tell her to leave me alone. Okay, so what's going to happen next is we're talking about the cover caption, not important right now. Those scroll stopping titles are super, super imperative, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the call to action, which comes at the end of your message. So what's important about that? I want to tell you this because it's part of the conversion. If you do not have a directive and you're not clear and it's not short and straightforward, people are going to be confused because they are so distracted. And if it's on and off like that and they turn their head to look at the baby crying, they've missed your message. So it needs to be a solid 3 seconds at the bottom. Make sure that it's right above your name, because they don't want to go from the top of your message all the way down. You're going to lose them. I'm telling you guys. Okay. So why this is so important, again, that they see it clearly is because they're distracted. So you want to make sure that it's simple, it's short, it's straightforward, it's right above your name. And you want to even use arrows. I'm telling you guys, it's crazy. It's amazing though, what you can do when you are showing up big, right? And you are doing all the neon signs and the neon arrows pointing at what you want them to do. Because if you don't tell them exactly what to do, they are not going to do it. They're just not. It has to be that simple. So ask me how, arrow, arrow, arrow. Read comments below, arrow, arrow, arrow. Learn more below, arrow, arrow, arrow. Make sure that they're seeing that message and keep it short. Now, we've done it. And now here you are waking up the next morning to info, info, info. How? Tell me more. Interested. And you want to secure them. And the reason you want to secure them is because these people have been trained to scroll. And if they're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, that means they're not just seeing your message. They're probably seeing 3 or 4 other people in your company, and then probably dozens of people in other companies, and they're looking for something. Subconsciously, they're looking to lose weight. Subconsciously, they want silkier hair. Subconsciously, they need more money. Subconsciously, they see something and they stop on it. What do you stop on? That's really important. What do you stop on? Because if you know how to market to the season of life that you're in right now, then you're going to know how to market to your audience. Keep that in mind as you're doing this. So when they stop and ask, you have to secure them. When this first happened to me back in November, I had my keyboard shortcuts intact. So the very first thing that I did was I asked for another green light. It's so important, guys, because it shows not only your posture, but your respect for that person. So if someone says, yes, I want to know more, that's not your green light. That's just the first step. You got to take them to second base. And that means you're going to go over to Messenger and you're going to leave them a very solid, very direct question. And you're going to say, thank you so much for the love on my Facebook reel. I would love to lock arms with you. Would you like to learn how I XYZ? Would you like to learn how I lose 20 pounds with the system? Would you like to learn how I was able to grow the length of my hair 3 inches in 1 month? Would you like to? What is in it for them? Be very direct. Don't just say, would you like to learn more? Make them feel it. Even though they said yes already, make them feel it. What was your video about? Whatever that video was about is what you need to repeat in that message. Now, what if you have 2 or 3 Facebook reels that just go berserk, or Instagram reels that go berserk? Then you need to start learning how to drop very thematic words. Drop coupon to get $20 off today. So when people drop the word coupon, you know exactly what reel they came from. And you could say, would you like, hey there, thanks so much for the love of my reel. Would you like to learn more how you can earn or get $20 off today with my special coupon? Yes, I would. Thank you very much. And now you're getting the green light, right? What happens after you get the green light that second time? This is where you ask a question that's going to tell you which direction to take this person, because you still need to protect yourself. You get to choose who you work with, and you get to choose who you help. So when they jump through hoops, that means they're serious. You don't want people that are going to be stringing you along. Who wants a messenger full of string-alongers? Not me. I don't have time for that. I have 5 kids. I got things to do, and I want to get paid just like you do, right? So you want to be able to ask the right questions. If it's business, you're going to ask the question, Awesome, because they said yes, or yes, I'd love to learn more, whatever it is. Awesome. So tell me, I'm super curious. What is it that you do for a living? Now, you guys have probably heard me and Stacy train on this. This question's so important. Don't change it. The reason this question with business is important is because you need for them to be seen and heard and appreciated and admired. This question allows that because you're going to learn a lot about them. They may say, I'm just a mom. They may say, I'm a nurse. They may say, I'm a teacher. They may say, I'm on disability. They may say nothing. The word nothing. I get that a lot too. You need to know how to help people by knowing where they're at. And so when they tell you what it is that they do, you're going to turn around and send them a voice clip. And that voice clip is going to edify the heck out of them. They need to be admired because they took time out to ask you for help. Do you know how hard that is for people? We need to wrap our mind around that every day. We are servants. And if they're asking you for help, you need to edify the hell out of them. If it's a mom, I get a lot of, oh, I'm just a mom. Well, man, how do you think that affects me? I'm just a mom. I'm just a mom. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And this industry has allowed me to be a stay-at-home mom for 8 years. So I'm proud of that. When I go in for that voice clip, I say, oh my gosh, you're just a mom. Let me just say thank you for being at home with your babies because it is the best gift you could give to this world. I know it is the hardest and most rewarding job on the planet. Now let's see if this is a fit for you. You can edify anyone. If it's a nurse, you can say, oh my goodness, let me be the first to say thank you for your service to your community. What would we do without you? And what I know to be true about nurses is that you are hardworking and you love to help people with their health goals or whatever goal it is. Now let's see if this is a fit for you. Do you see that language at the end never changes? Now, Nicole, are you telling me that you send voice clips all day long to people? Oh my God, that sounds like a lot of work. It can be, but I know how to systematize. So knowing based on the people that are attracted to my season of life, I've made 8 messages on my voice record on my phone. So all I have to do is share that voice record to that person because I talk to nurses, moms, teachers. I know how to talk to people just like me, and I have a very thematic message that I send them, and I scale my time appropriately. Now, why do I do that? Because I'm now currently, for the last 6 months, in at least 300 conversations a day. It's a lot. But I'm also in an additional 300 conversations a day with my team. So I have to learn how to scale it, know where I am in the system, and move forward. So after that message that I send with the voice clip, I immediately follow it up with, curious, are you looking for a little wiggle room in your budget? Or are you looking to eventually replace what you're doing? I want to continue to secure them. And then from that point on, I'm going to ask them if they're familiar with my company. When they give me that answer, I'm going to say, that is awesome. Now tell me, are you familiar with XYZ? Now, why do I do that? Because over the last 6 months, I've learned that, just like I said earlier, people are scrolling, and looking for an answer to their problems. And for those people out there that are marketing properly and offering value before cost, they're probably reaching out to more than one person in your company or another company. So when I ask them if they're familiar with my company, I'm going to get one of 2 answers. No, I'm not. Or, yeah, I'm actually speaking to someone. Or, yeah, I'm taking those products. They're amazing. And I lead with integrity and say, I love to honor the person that you're speaking to first. I'd be happy to put you back in a conversation with that person so they can help you properly. Would you prefer that? They're either going to say yes, or they're going to say, no, I actually want to stay with you. I've done my job and I've led with integrity. That's so important. 1 second. Hey, Joe, call Dad and tell him he can't talk to me right now. He's trying to call me. Sorry, my husband's trying to call me. So this is really, really important because you always want to lead with integrity and help your brothers and sisters out at your own company if they're in a conversation with that other person. They deserve that. And that's going to help you always build with integrity because no customer is worth your integrity, ever. Not even a rep, ever. That's why this industry is so awesome about building people, because when you're surrounded by people that lead with integrity, you're changing the world. Really see the bigger picture here. So now I've secured them. I've asked them about the name of the company. They've said no. And now I'm going to put them in my success system. And I can't go farther with you on that because that's whatever your success system is. You know your scripts, you have the language, and you move them through. Either it's a Zoom or a video or a phone call, whatever it is. Now it's up to you to secure them. Now, when I'm doing this, I have a system and I know where they're at. And if I need to follow up with people, all I have to do in Facebook Messenger, you can't do it in Instagram, but in Facebook Messenger, I'm gonna go up to that bar and I'm gonna type in a part of the phrase of wherever I need to follow up, and it's gonna tell me who's in that portion of the conversation. Now, my company happens to have a placement system. That means that if I have someone that joins me, I can put them under a teammate. A lot of companies have that. So if your company has that, then I highly suggest that you start allowing some of your emerging leaders to work as your virtual assistants. I have 8 virtual assistants. These are my teammates, and they go in and they actually secure people by saying things like, hey, would you like to learn more? My friend Nicole and I work together and I'd be happy to introduce her to you. She sets up, or he sets up, a 3-way chat. I come in, I speak to them, I do the same system that I just taught you, and then I'm out after I ask them if they know the name of the company. 6 months, I've been able to secure and recruit over 100 reps. And my team has been able to secure over 100 reps. It's been pretty sensational. This is all from Reels. So make sure that when you're showing up, you show up with posture. You show up with strength. You show up with positivity. And remember that you're there to help them because they were humble enough and they were transparent and vulnerable enough to ask for help. And we always honor that and edify it. I hope this helped. If you have any questions below, let me know. I'm gonna look quickly to see if you guys have any questions. If not, feel free to put them here in the comments, and I will come back here in the next hour and answer those questions for you because you probably have a lot about language, which is totally fine. But this is something that you're totally leaving money on the table if you're not using Reels. I'm telling you, when you have a good, better, best system in any company, Reels is always going to be the champion. It's King Kong of all other income producing activities. So dial it in tight. Be intentional with your language. Ask all the right questions. Make sure that you know who you're talking to. Keep making those reels and realize 95% of them are waiting to be viewed. 5% of them are going to explode, which means that when they do, those people are going to come over and see and look at the ones that were waiting to be viewed. And you're going to be seeing conversations like crazy. Here's a ninja tip for you. Facebook and Instagram isn't always going to tell you when people view. So every morning, I would suggest setting a timer for 5 minutes and going through every reel and hitting newest views at the top. You can hit newest views and see if you have any new views so you can respond to them. This happens to me every day. I'm probably every single day I see things that Instagram and Facebook don't notify me of, probably more than 50 conversations. And I get to start those, and you want to make sure that you secure them. So make sure that every morning you are doing that. Now, if you seem to get into more conversations in the evening, by all means, do it in the evening. I tend to start my conversations in the morning. So by the evening time, I've gone through the entire success system with them. So let me see here. It looks like I'm having some things pop up. Hey, thanks, Janet. I appreciate that. Do I respond? Do I respond to views? And I respond to all the comments, all of them. And I even the haters. Let me tell you, let me give you a peace of mind here. I have signed up over 200 people in the last 6 months. And out of that, I've probably received over 10,000 comments of hate. Super hateful, ugly things. Don't let that deter you from your success and offering a solution to your family. Hurt people hurt people. I don't really care about that phrase, Those people don't know me personally, so I don't take it personal. They may be hurting. I don't care. I'm not going to give them the time of day, but I do use their comment. And I have 3 shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts that I use. And when they say something hateful, I'm like, hey, thank you so much for the comment and for boosting my reel. Because it pushes it out farther when they do it. I don't think they realize that. I have no problem at all letting them know that I appreciate the boost. Have fun with those comments and do not let it bother you. Because out of the hate that I've gotten, the thousands and thousands of comments of hate for no reason, my reels are perfectly fine, but out of that hate, I was able to help over 200 people find a solution and wiggle room in their budget. And some of them have done some pretty extraordinary things already and offered their family amazing opportunities. I will take that hate, because that's what happened when I partnered with my company. Serving tends to mean scars. Serving at a high level and a bigger level, making a massive impact, I guarantee you the scars. There's not one person that's ever gone without the scars if they're making a massive impact. So embrace those scars. Embrace them and know that each scar is allowing you to get in front of more people that need you.